Anyway, speaking of great deal, we've had a great deal of talk to get to the main event for the Owen Hart Tournament Cup and the chance to face the world champion Dick the Boozer of the Boar Horsemen at the Stadium Show in Texas. Hangnail Adam Page and Will Ospreay. And I'll save the finish, but boy, howdy. When you thought they were going to do something that made some sense and everything pointed to it, that flies out the window. So the main event started, the entrances started 3 hours and 40 minutes into the pay-per-view. And they gave Ospreay an entrance with stained glass and lighting effects and his voiceover playing in the arena, echoing the nonsense promo that they did last week of, I am the greatest, prove to you.
You weren't lying. You said that Dave Meltzer said it, and I hadn't read anything that he had reviewed about it yet. It's not just him. There is a fan base who believe that was like one of the greatest promos of all time, one of the greatest face-to-face segments ever. That's amazing. That was awful. And endless.
Well, it wasn't the I have a dream speech, but they played it here like it was.
It was the I have a drink speech.
And I think he had another, because here he came, Ospreay and Lyric Valkyrie or whatever are going to the same costumer. They come out in feathers. They should be quacking. Look like when Jimmy Hart had to wear the San Diego Chicken outfit. So they ring the bell for this match, and suddenly, after 4 hours of complete shit, two guys are trying to wrestle. Everybody's tired. After everything has been proven to be phony, cartoon bullshit, then they go out there and they start trying to have a match to the best of their ability, and I will put it over. As far as physically, these are two of the better and more credible guys in the ring on the roster. Both of them can do nice spots. Both of them need somebody else leading the match to put together something that doesn't reek of indie and is, a higher level. Ospreay has the problem with the voice, and the more that you hear him talk, the less you like him, but he's got fire. He could be produced. And unfortunately, Page, I think he's a shit promo and you don't believe him. He doesn't seem to have a pleasing personality to begin with. He was never a smiling baby face, except when he was interacting with the goddamn job guys in the Dork Order. But he's like a lot of these guys. You like him until you know him better and realize that he's a douche in real life. But they had a higher level of athleticism and professionalism in executing the moves here, to where that you wouldn't be embarrassed to show somebody this like you would the Anarchy in the Arena match or some of their other goofball indie shit, thumbtacks, whatever. But still, this match, as a pay-per-view main event, if you want to see a banger of a match after 4 fucking hours of other alleged bangers, then that's what they give you here. But as a money-drawing money match on a program, if they're going to do babyface and babyface, these guys aren't really smart enough to have that match. They just do their moves back and forth to each other, regardless of who's supposed to be a babyface or a heel, or a babyface or a babyface. It's going to be the same thing. Verbally, as we've seen, they can't cut the promo. This is for people who want to see guys do moves and talk about who's going to be the one to be the greatest of all time and it works harder than the other guy, bruv. And so, but they did it. over and over for 40 fucking minutes to the point where nothing beats anybody. And then they take you out of the athletic presentation because it's so ridiculous. And that's the thing when we did the talent roster and or part of it so far, and people say, "Oh, he won't keep Kenny. How dare he? And like Kenny, the people like him, and blah blah blah. He won't keep Kenny." I said, "Well, between Kenny and Ospreay, you've got two trained chimpanzees doing the same tricks. So you keep the younger, fresher chimpanzee, and that's Ospreay, who I believed until." Until I saw different that was going to win this thing and go on to win the title in the stadium. Because it made the most sense because that, which is probably why it's not happening. But between, as I said, Kenny and Ospreay here, how, if you're looking ahead to build a roster 2, 3 years, 5 years, how could Kenny help a wrestling promotion? Wrestling? As he's older, he's had bad injuries, and his matches always looked like he was playing a video game. And Ospreay, at least, is fresher and younger and more accomplished and less overly douchey with the pointing and the face making and etc. But could Kenny help in other ways? Promos? He can teach people to do promos or do promos. Have you ever, Brian, call me a great Kenny Omega promo?
No, I've actually always told you I like him in the ring, and I'm not a fan of his promos at all. I think
breathy,
they're counterproductive.
Wishy-washy, counterproductive. You don't want to hear him because he's a douche. Could he do commentary? Can you imagine that, Brian? Could he step into the announcer's booth?
I think he's done it a couple times. No, not good.
A producer or an agent, he can't put his own matches together. The last thing you'd want is he's putting somebody else's together because then you get more of the goddamn video game shit. As a talent scout, he's a shit talent picker, obviously. Anybody remember Michael Nakazawa? Or the Japanese indie girls that he has spent Tony Khan's money on ad nauseum over the last 6 years. That's his talent eye. As a trainer, he's been involved in the most disrespectful bullshit that has ever been done in wrestling, especially over the last number of years. He's been an embarrassment from the start with the sex dolls and the 8-year-old girls. And the last thing that you would want is this bitch teaching young wrestlers how to not respect the business. Now, Ospreay, I don't know that he's any different because he actually said in that interview here recently, well, bruv, AEW smokes the WWE in every aspect of wrestling, except the part about making money and getting big numbers of people to watch it. But because he's of that mindset that, oh, we've got to do the poison rana, mate. But he's 10 years younger and he's a lot newer, and maybe you could teach him something. But now that I'm going to tear down what they did with this, I want to say that this match by far was not perfect. But at least to show it to somebody, you wouldn't be embarrassed. They're athletic. The shit's crisper. They didn't use furniture to the ridiculous degree. There were no scissors, phony props, exploding shit. With this, there's something you could build on, the sports-based presentation that we were promised at the beginning with athletes. But the problem becomes that you have athletes with minds like these guys that can't get them out of the indie level bullshit and into the greater world. And also, after 4 hours of the other shit has taken the wind out of everything, for them to go out there and go 40 more fucking minutes and kick out of every goddamn thing in the world. They've got a story that's the same as every other indie fucking match story. I'm the greatest, hardest worker. No, it's me. Let's fight. And they
want you
haven't
at
even
your
had a
best.
misunderstanding.
I want you at your best.
Yes.
Make sure you train and get 8 hours of sleep.
And they don't even have misunderstandings. They don't get the message wrong or somebody misinterpreted something. They just, we haven't done this one yet, so let's book it. So at 25 minutes into the match, I'm going to go through some of the high points. 25 minutes into the match, Ospreay gives Page a power bomb on the apron, and then Styles clashes him off the apron onto the floor. Now, they didn't land just flat, but as a matter of fact, Ospreay could have blown his own left knee out the way he landed if he hadn't been lucky. But then they sold that. Ospreay rolled in at 8. Page got up and rolled in at 9.5. Ospreay hits a big Cody cutter on him. 2 count. And then Ospreay hit his elbow finish. 2 count. After the guy's been Styles clashed off the apron onto the floor. And hit with 2 different finishes. 2 count. And then Ospreay beats up on Adam Page, and the referee pulls him back, and they argue. And then Ospreay boots Page off the apron onto the desk, bashes his head on the desk, goes for a pedigree on the desk. Page tries to backdrop him, and the desk breaks out from under him, and they fall on a heap, and Page falls on top of Ospreay. So then, after they sell it for a while, instead of moving on, Page picks Ospreay up and dead-eyes him on the wreckage to let everybody know what they were trying to do before the table didn't cooperate. And now bear in mind, both of these guys, in talking about this match, called Styles Clash off the apron, and then 15 more minutes of match, and somebody let him do it. So at that point, now Page is fine. And he went for the buckshot, but Ospreay fell. And, so he couldn't deliver it. But then Ospreay stood up and pulled off his elbow pad. Like, I'm taking off the gloves now. So then Page pulled off his elbow sleeve. And they're like 2 gunfighters facing each other out in the street at high noon. The problem is Page is ready to do the buckshot, and to do his move, Ospreay has to run at the guy and put his elbow up and hit him with it. Well, when they both charge, Page hits the buckshot, but fucking Ospreay had just run right into it. He didn't try to do the elbow and cover, 2 count, and then Tony Schiavone said, well, it looked to me like Ospreay just ran right into it. Because I think Taz was trying to say he didn't have time to draw his elbow back or whatever, trying to cover. And Tony said, well, to me, it looked like he just ran right into it. So then Page tried another buckshot, and when he landed, Ospreay hit his elbow, and for the first time ever, that elbow looked great because the guy was standing on his feet and had a way to take a fucking bump. But then he's spinning suplex, 2 count. Then Ospreay went for the elbow while Page was on his knees, and Page collapsed, and Ospreay went over the top of him with the elbow, and Ospreay sold missing the elbow. Why? And then I wrote, if Ospreay doesn't win this soon, he's dead. He's done everything. He's done everything he knows multiple times to Page. Page is not only as over as he's ever going to be, he's not as over as he once was, and Ospreay still has a chance to be the guy. That's what I'm noting here. And then Ospreay spins forever while his opponent is helpless, pointing at him to now try to start impersonating fucking Kenny. And he hit Kenny's knee. He did it better than Kenny does. Then he picked him up for the one-winged fairy like Kenny does. But Page slipped out of that and dropped fucking Ospreay on his head. Cover 1, 2, leg on the ropes. I wrote more ? And then finally, each one of them foiled the other one. And Paige, out of nowhere, hit a buckshot lariat cover. 1, 2, 3. They beat Will Ospreay. Paige is the one who gets the title match with Moxley. Paige can't win the title, then we're just in as shitty a place as we are with Moxley. A fucking guy that's not over, that nobody gives a shit about, that can't fucking talk, has the title again. And why do this to Ospreay? He did everything he knows, and he can't beat this guy. He can't beat Adam Page. How is he ever going to be the guy when he can't beat this guy? 40 minutes, bell to bell, plus entrances. And they beat Will Ospreay with Adam Page in a babyface match, fair and square. So maybe Ospreay doesn't have to worry about that fucking long flight every week too much longer, because there's not going to be that much call for his services after another babyface withstood everything he could possibly do for 45 fucking minutes and then beat him without cheating. 1, 2, 3. Jesus H fucking Christ.
Well,
are you still there?
Yeah, 2 questions for you. 1, what do you do now with Moxley versus Adam Page? And 2, hypothetically, because we don't know what Tony Khan thinks about all this, Will Ospreay's been a really great cheerleader for the company publicly, and he's also complained about his flights because he doesn't want to move over here. Are you hesitant as a promoter, as a booker, to make someone your top guy if they won't come live over here in the States? Does it matter?
He's been there for a year or whatever, and it hadn't mattered so far. They don't run house shows. As a matter of fact, I think that sometimes maybe the less you see of Ospreay, definitely the less you hear of him, the better the idea is in your head. But why spend all this money? Why sign the guy? Why they think they've pushed him? They don't realize they've kind of buried him too, but they haven't buried him as badly until now as all the other guys on the roster. You're paying him a couple $1,000,000. All he has to do is come to work once a week, maybe. And he's fresh and he's athletic and he could be the guy instead of, again, this, what did Punk call him? Empty-headed dipshit Adam Page, that boring shit over and over again. Or Moxley has ruined the world championship in this company, if that's even possible. And you buy his 3 high-priced acquisitions at the same time, as I recall, were Ospreay, Mercedes, and Okada, right? They all at pretty much the same time.
Yeah.
So 2 of those have been a drastic, fucking abysmal failure, Mercedes and Okada. But you had a chance to make your money back on this guy. And now not only can't he beat the fucking top heels, he can't beat the other fucking baby face that ain't going to do any business for you that you ain't already doing. The people that are going to come and pay to see Adam Page are already coming to pay to see everything else. He's part of the package with that base audience. But you could market. Fuck. I don't care anymore. Do what you want to do, Tony. But this, what the fuck? Pay all these guys to millions of dollars to, in Okada's case, have lazy, nothing matches. In Mercedes's case, have her diddle the little man in the boat for herself all across your programming because she thinks she's a goddamn superstar. She's Madonna or something. That's been rotten. And the one guy that you could actually use, that you could get something out of, you've completely dumbed him out of goddamn position. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's interesting if they did all this for Adam Page. But we'll see what happens at Ospreay, and we'll see what happens at All in Texas. That was AEW Double or Nothing. What if Tony Khan took some of this money that he spends on wrestlers and just went to the Shop app and supported small businesses all across the land? That would be a wonderful thing. What if he had a business? I guess he does. What if he had a business that people wanted to give him money to? And he had product to sell? He may want to set up an online store with our friends at Shopify.
Well, you know what he ought to do is he ought to sell, although again, I guess then they'd bring him in for human trafficking. He ought to sell some of the wrestlers on his roster he's not using. Certainly he could give people discounts, but folks, again, if you have a business, then Shopify can help you. But you know how Shopify can help you even more? If you don't have a business, if you've got an idea or a dream, like Tony Khan once had, if Tony Khan had gone to Shopify, well, then right now, instead of us screaming, please, Tony, stop this, we'd be doing that because he'd be making all kinds of money with a quality product and a successful platform on which to market said product, because Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. 10% of all the e-commerce in the United States. Guess who's on top of it? Shopify. And they're holding it like a stranglehold. And they're increasing their reach. They're spreading over the land like a pestilence. And soon, all of it, Brian, every e-commerce platform will be all Shopify. Ha ha ha! From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started like McFuneral's Peter Parlor. What if you can't design a website, folks? Well, Shopify's got you with beautiful, ready-to-go templates to match your brand style. If you need a hand with everyday tasks like enhancing product images, you know they could airbrush a picture of your wife. It looks like she doesn't have that wart on her left cheek. They enhance product images. They write product descriptions. They can write a description to your wife that would make even her sound appealing.
Listen, I don't know what you're focusing on here, but
and they can generate discount codes for your wife, apparently, if you'd like to market her.
You can market your wife. That's against the rules and the protocols of Shopify. But if you have products you're allowed to sell legally that you have the rights to or have made yourself, Shopify is there for you.
I read it in a mirror and got it backwards. They generate discount codes for your wife to save money with Shopify's AI tools that are created specifically for commerce. That's why they only use the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, ladies and gentlemen. What if people haven't heard about your brand? Well, Shopify will help you find your customers with easy email and social media campaigns. Everybody will know about you. They're going to stand on the top of large buildings and downtowns all across the country and scream your name, as well as possibly some of the things that you've been accused of, unless you sign up right now. And what if you get stuck? Well, Shopify is always around to share advice because of their award-winning 24/7 customer support. But if you don't take their advice, well then, if you won't listen, we can't help you. But right now, you can turn those dreams that you've had of being a successful entrepreneur and working out of your home and telling other people what to do on a daily basis, including possibly members of your own family. And hearing that noise a lot, you can do all those things.
Yeah.
With Shopify. And right now, if you sign up for your $1 a month trial period, then Shopify can show you all the things they can do to you, and you can start selling or do to you or for you, do around you. They'll do some things in your presence, and you will start selling today. Go to shopify.com/JCE for a $1 a month trial period. Again, websites, product descriptions, email and social media campaigns. They're going to start your business from scratch. And they're going to run it till the wheels fall off. And then you're going to be rich and successful and retired on a deserted island until one of these days they'll call you back into service, and you will, because of the little nodule implanted at the base of your skull, you will have no choice but to come back. But right now, It's just $1 a month for the trial period. Shopify.com/JCE.
That's right. They power our store. We have brand new Lazy Booking shirts up right now, ArcadiaVanguard.com, or on the Shop app. Just look for it. Shopify.com/JCE.